So let me ask you this, how does an author pull it off where you end up feeling sorry for a main character who commits the most despicable act ever? I'm open to suggestions here. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be giving my spoiler-free review of Yellowface by Rebecca F. Kuang. Most people know her as the author of the Poppy War trilogy and last year's hit Babel, which I am yet to read. But with this book, it was kind of like Verity by Colleen Hoover, where I got swept up in the hype and just had to check this out for myself to see what the fuss was all about. And for the most part, I really enjoyed this book. Okay, so as always, I like to start with what the book is about, and this is taken straight off the back cover. Authors June Hayward and Athena Liu were supposed to be twin rising stars, same years at Yale, same debut year in publishing, but Athena's a cross-genre literary darling and June didn't even get a paperback release. Nobody wants stories about basic white girls, June thinks. So when June witnesses Athena's death in a freak accident, she acts on impulse. She steals Athena's just finished masterpiece, an experimental novel about the unsung contributions of Chinese labourers to the British and French war efforts during World War I. So what if June edits Athena's novel and sends it to her agent as her own work? So what if she lets her new publisher rebrand her as Juniper Song, complete with an ambiguously ethnic author photo? Doesn't this piece of history deserve to be told, whoever the teller? That's what June claims, and the New York Times bestseller lists seem to agree. But June can't get away from Athena's shadow, and emerging evidence threatens to bring June's stolen success down around her. As June races to protect her secret, she discovers exactly how far she will go to keep what she thinks she deserves. Alright, so look, I really enjoyed how this book gives a snapshot of the publishing industry. I mean, I know a little bit about the industry, but I did pick up a few extra things, which is very interesting because I always like to read about what goes on in the publishing industry, and I thought that was captured pretty well. But the most extraordinary thing about this book is it reads like a massive, big testimony of defense on Juniper's part, trying to justify her actions on why she stole Athena's work and wanted to pass it off as her own. I mean, here we have Juniper who commits the most despicable act. The body hasn't even gotten cold, and she swipes the unfinished manuscript from Athena's desk and smuggles it back to her house. And you all through the book you're questioning her why she does what she does. And the most extraordinary thing about the book is, even though she stole her dead friend's work, over the course of the novel I felt guilty about feeling sorry for her, and had to check myself a couple of times. I'm like, hey, wait, I'm not, I can't sympathise with a character like this, can I? And the way that Juniper goes into why she did what she did and tries to justify her actions, and Rebecca Kuang provides examples by way of backstories and eventual revelations which get revealed at key points in the novel, which is really good timing, I thought. But in the end, we see a big reveal on who was behind the ultimate demise of Juniper's fake career. I mean, when Juniper started out, she was a mediocre author. She got a paperback release and it did okay, but there were buried feelings of jealousy from Juniper against Athena, and it simmered in the background. And I really liked how Rebecca Kuang explored the actual friendship, the relationship between Juniper and Athena, how there was some simmering jealousy, and how things rose to a head, and it was just really, really well done, I thought. And overall, look, it was a decent read. The twist at the end, I have to touch upon that. So it wasn't a massive reveal where you had to stop reading and look at the wall and say, what the fuck just happened there? It was an okay sort of twist, and it wasn't a real surprise. I think it was a little bit predictable, to be honest, on who was behind what happened in the climax. But you know what, if for a novel. It was a pretty good read. It's certainly worth the money, and I'm glad I checked it out because I was able to form my own opinions on it. It's been discussed very divisively on YouTube. Some people like it, some people hate it, and I wanted to see what I think. So I thought, I didn't waste my money. I thought it was pretty well worth the money spent. It's not an overly long book. I think it's only about 350 pages or something like that. It didn't take me long to read, but I would recommend it to anyone just wanting a fairly quick, entertaining read without taking it too seriously. But really enjoyed it for the most part, so I certainly recommend, if you grab a copy of it, just read it, and I think you might actually like it, even though the main character is despicable but likable at the same time. So it's an interesting take on a character like that, and yeah, I invite you to judge for yourself when you actually read it. But there you go, guys. That is it for my review of Yellowface. Apologies for the delay between videos. It has been, life away from the camera has been very, very hectic, and energy levels have been very, very low. So I am very behind on my reviews. So I'm just, all I can say is I'll get the reviews out that I have on books I have read recently as soon as I can. But today being a Sunday, Father's Day here in Australia, I have a fair bit of mental energy, and I thought, well, look, I am finally able to find some time and some energy to get a video up. Because it's been too long, and I've got a few more books to review on the channel and put up the videos, so watch for those in the coming days. Hopefully in the next week or so I'll have a few more videos for you, and I will eventually wrap up my reading for winter as well. But the last couple of weeks I've been really delving into some really good things that I've been reading, which I'm not going to reveal here because I want to speak about it in a bit more detail maybe next week. But yeah, lots of exciting things I'm planning for next year as well on the channel, some new segments and things like that. If you don't know already, I have mentioned previously that I am now a mood reader, so I have no restraints or any limitations where I say, look, for September I'm going to read this, this and this. I'm basically a free agent and freed myself from that, so that if I wake up one morning and I want to pick up Shogun, I'll read it. If I want to pick up a handful of manga, I'll read it. And I do need to get out my manga video as well, which I need to record. I already know what kind of manga I want to read in the future, so I just have to put it together and put it all up on the channel with what manga I'd like to read in the future. And there's quite a few really good series there that I'm chopping at the bit to get to. So it just feels nice to have a little bit of freedom and not be locked into TBR videos where it places pressure on me that I have to read these books. I'm just going to read for me, whatever I feel like, and yeah, we'll take it from there. But thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Offer up any comments below as always, and I'll respond to those. But until the next video, guys, which should not be too far away, I'll catch you later.